What's up, guys? Okay, let's continue with all the news regarding to Real Madrid, but now we are going to start off with Al Khelaifi, and the reason for that is because a couple days ago a attorney from Qatar showed up in a press conference in Paris, right? And he was claiming that he had the document signed by the businessman that was put in jail allegedly by under the order of Al Khelaifi. That document, of course, is proven or might be proven Al Khelaifi took a decision, a very corrupted and illegal decision to put in jail to someone innocent, in jail, right? So what does that mean? It is pretty obvious this is something illegal, right? The problem is all this thing happened in Qatar. It didn't happen in France, right? So the chances for him to be in jail or taken to the court for Al Khelaifi are not so high. But of course, the fact that the attorney showed up in France instead of Qatar or any other country, it is because he really wants to claim in front of the whole world that this person, Al Khelaifi, is a very corrupted and bad person, right? And he should be, I'm not gonna say in jail, right? But he should be taken to court, right? To respond about a bunch of issues, right? And topics and stuff. And to me, although he might not be taken to court in France, the fact that now everybody in the Western world knows the kind of person that he is or the kind of things that he does in Qatar will put him in the spotlight, so he will be or feel forced to step out from his charge right now or do something. There's no way for us to assume that this guy will keep being the president of PSG, whereas there's a document, a person or a bunch of people in Qatar claiming this guy is a bad guy, is a bad person, and is able to do super bad things to other people in Qatar, right? Super illegal things, and there's no way for us to accept that, right? So in somehow the attorney, what he was looking for, it was just that, to create a kind of opinion among the Western people to say, hey, this guy, how is it possible that this guy is leading one of the most important clubs in the world, not only in France, right, but in the world? And all this thing comes alongside the celebration of the World Cup in Qatar, which has been as well under the spotlight all over the world. And a lot of countries are not quite sure about not the legality, not the viability, but the thing is, morally wise, how is it possible that we are going to celebrate a World Cup, right, in a country like that with no human rights watch or something like that? So I don't know, man, but this guy Al Khelaifi right now is, he's being caught red-handed, right? And there's no escape, there's no exit for him, there's no way out for him. He will have to respond at some point. He will have to respond about that. So let's see what happens. But the situation in PSG right now, to me, is getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, but now let's go to something more, more happier or another way, different way, because this is something that came up in the afternoon, and it's very important because it is as far as Jude Bellingham. And it's important, let me show you really quick. It is important because Yuni Calafat, the boss, the most important scouter in Real Madrid, has taken over the signing of Jude Bellingham, and apparently now Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund apparently are just talking about the price, okay? The fact he's going to sign for Real Madrid is done. The player wants to play for Real Madrid. Borussia Dortmund, it's okay for the player to sign for Real Madrid. And the only thing they have to talk about is the money. So how much is it going to cost me for Real Madrid to sign this player of y'all, right? And Borussia Dortmund is probably trying to find a spot between the 120, 100 million or something like that. To me, that is going to be the price, right? Something similar, something that falls anywhere between 100, 120 or something. But the most important and the best news for Los Madridistas is, yes, the signing of Jude Bellingham is close to be done, right? It's close to happen. And that is all the things I have to think about, right? I'm not going to put any money on the signing, right? So the most important for me is for the player to sign the contract with Real Madrid or has any kind of pre-agreement with Real Madrid so we can protect the player from any other Premier League team offer or something like that, right? And yeah, that's great because all the things we have heard so far as Bellingham have been true or happen to be they were true. And all the things I've been reporting to y'all regarding to Bellingham, they turned out they were true. So we are not, we were not ripped off, we were not scammed. I mean, they were not lies. And all the people that were talking about that since I think it was March this year for the first time that we were talking about Jude Bellingham and the possibility for him to sign Real Madrid. I mean, that was true, and that's great. That's great to me because now we are going to build up the next project in a super high level. I mean, if we are able to, if you think about it, right? Not only the players that we already have, like Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Fede Valverde, and all of them, but also if you add up players like Jude Bellingham, Joao Cancelo, or Erling Haaland, it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great. So, yeah, I mean, the project for the next 2 years, it's exciting, right? If you think about it, you have Jude Bellingham coming in, Joao Cancelo coming in, and of course, overall, Erling Haaland coming in. And nobody really wants to know anything about Kylian Mbappe anymore, right? I mean, Kylian Mbappe is just an exception. I mean, if the player still plays really good and he becomes even better or something like that, Real Madrid might be interested in him, right? But it's not like kind of necessity that we have, right? Because Mbappe is no longer the kind of player he used to be for Real Madrid. He's no longer representing the things that he used to represent in the past. For us right now, with Rodrigo, Vinicius, outstanding, outperforming everybody else, to me, there's no point in rushing for the signing of Kylian Mbappe at all. If you are able to add up the Erling Haaland and embed Erling Haaland in our project, we're good to go. We don't need any more players, right? So I don't know what is the idea of Real Madrid, but the signing of Erling Haaland is going to be the first piece in a big project that, in my opinion, will amaze the rest of Europe, okay? So great, very good news for Real Madrid. And I'm gonna deliver just one more thing from Jorge Valdano. He said the other day, Jorge Valdano, as you know, for all those of you who don't know who the guy is, let me tell you, Jorge Valdano played for Real Madrid in the 80s, then he became the sporting director of Real Madrid for a bunch of years with Florentino Perez, and his message to Florentino Perez regarding to Erling Haaland was pretty clear last night. I mean, he now collaborates with different media, and he said, man, he's my favorite player right now, and I only watch the games just because, I only watch Manchester City games just because I want to see him, right? Because he's a beast. He's a beast, and he's scoring a lot of goals, and it's a pleasure for the eyes to see him, right? And Valdano sent a clear message to Florentino Perez that, in my opinion, really doesn't need any message, because everybody knows that Real Madrid is in need of a player like Erling Haaland, right? So the clear message from Valdano is that, right? Is just that. Sign him, man. Sign this guy up, because it's gotta be great for Real Madrid, and he can really take Real Madrid to the next level when he comes to Real Madrid and play, right? So let's see what happens, guys. I'm pretty sure that we have a lot of chances to sign the player. I'm not quite sure though what is going to happen, but in my opinion, at some point it'll happen. And yeah, we are arguably the front runners, right, in the race for Erling Haaland for the near future, for 2024. So let's see what happens, and let's see if we are able to sign Erling Haaland. That'd be awesome, because this guy is a beast. I mean, he's scoring like I think that he will score like 1,000 goals in a season or something like that. He's great, man. He's great. So let's see what happens. We will have to wait a little bit more to see how the things go down. But in my opinion, man, we have a lot of chances. And yeah, pay attention to Jorge Valdano, because what he says, it is pretty much what we are all thinking about. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Of course, now drop the comments in the section below, and see you in the next one.